Welcome to the weekly tech update with me, Mike Walmsley. Are you in the mood for technology, the internet, search engine and social media news? Then you've come to the right place. This week I'll be bringing you stories from, amongst others, Samsung, Firefox, the BBC, Google and Facebook, and I'll also be taking a look at the perils of social media. Apple makes a bigger iPhone, so what does Samsung do? Samsung makes a smaller Galaxy S3. It is widely expected that by the time you view this, Samsung will have announced the release of a mini Galaxy S3 with a smaller 4-inch screen. Details are sketchy about this machine at the moment, but it is thought to have a lower spec than the Korean giant's flagship phone. If you are looking for a low-priced tablet this holiday season, then you might want to consider the ZooStorm SL8. It's a 7-inch Android tablet and comes with ice cream sandwich as standard. It sports a 1GHz Amlogic processor and 8GB of memory that can be expanded to 32GB. The camera is only 0.3 megapixels, which is certainly low, but at around £80, so is the price. Firefox this week released the latest version 16 of its popular browser and then pulled it after just 24 hours when a major security flaw was discovered. The flaw allows malicious sites to work out which sites a user has visited, and although there is no evidence that the flaw has been exploited, Firefox have still removed the product until a patch is in place. If you have downloaded Firefox 16, you can protect yourself by simply reinstalling Firefox 15.0.1 again, and this is the version that Firefox are currently offering as the latest version. If you're a fan of radio over television as I am, then you may very well be interested in downloading the new BBC Radio iPlayer. The app is currently only available on iPhone, but an Android version is on the way. You can listen to all your favourite BBC radio stations live or listen again to shows from the last 7 days. There's a search facility and you can even set reminders to let you know when a radio show is about to start. You can also set the alarm through the app so that you wake up to the dulcet tones of your favourite DJ. This is just another example of the mobile phone subsuming the functionality of another device, in this case the radio alarm clock. Google has rolled out another change to its algorithm, and this one looks at the layout of your page. Pages that show mainly ads above the fold are being downgraded in the rankings, so make sure if you're carrying advertising on your website that your own content features heavily in the top part of the page. If your content is good, then you will rank more highly, and higher rankings equals more visitors. If your site relies on advertisers for your revenue, having more visitors will lead to more clicks, and more clicks will lead to more money. It makes sense when you think about it. Comscore will be publishing their usual figures on search this Friday. Search Engine Land have had a sneak peek at the figures and they show that Google's share of search has increased from 66.4% to 66.7% and are, as usual, streets ahead of the competition. The real losers this month seems to be Yahoo, who fell from 12.8% to just 12.2%. I'm sure these figures will give Yahoo's new CEO, Marissa Mayer, something to think about while she's on her maternity leave. A company in New Zealand is reportedly suing Facebook. Profile Technology says that Facebook cut off access to the search giant's data after the Auckland-based company created a search engine with the data. Profile Technology says that they had a contract with Facebook to access the data and are suing them for loss of profits. Facebook says that the claims are groundless and that they will fight the case. If the claims are true, then it might mean that Facebook had been considering a move into search as far back as 2010, when Profile Technology had their access to Facebook data revoked. Twitter has launched a profile directory of its users. This is not aimed particularly at other Twitter users, as they can simply search for a username within the site. The aim of the new feature is to make Twitter more search engine friendly by allowing the profile directory to be crawlable by search engines so that they can be indexed more easily. The profile directory follows all SEO best practices and may actually help your Twitter account gain higher rankings in search engine results. This shows how social and search are becoming more and more intricately linked every day. And finally, I thought I'd take a moment to talk about the perils of social media. There have been two high-profile stories this week involving social media. The first involves Chelsea and England footballer Ashley Cole, who took umbrage at an FA report that criticised him and responded with a tweet that some found offensive and resulted in tabloid headlines. The FA are now bringing in a code of conduct for footballers that will include rules on social media activity. The second case involves a 19-year-old from Chorley in Lancashire who was jailed after posting sick comments about missing 5-year-old girl April Jones. He was initially arrested for his own protection after a crowd gathered outside his home after news of the comments spread. He was jailed by magistrates for 12 weeks after he pleaded guilty to sending by means of a public electronic communications network a message or other material that is grossly offensive. My point is this: social media can be very beneficial in so many ways by helping us to keep in touch with friends and relatives, but you must always remember that you are communicating in a very public forum. Never put anything on a social network that you would not be happy to see on the front cover of a newspaper next to your name and your photograph, because you might one day find that it is, and that you are in prison. My name's Mike Walmsley, and I'll be back next week with another weekly tech update. Thanks for watching.